is doing his second speech from his entertaining speaker series manual. Maurice is now a competent communicator, and now he's moving to his advanced communicator manual, which is the entertaining speaker. He's going to be giving a 5 to 7 minute speech. The speech is entitled, "Their Life by My Stories." His objective is to draw entertaining material from sources other than his own personal experience. As Maurice has mentioned before, the great Bob Hope once said, "If it were not for serious situations, we would not have no comedy." Maurice will be telling us this morning in his own way how right Bob was. Let's please bring up and welcome Maurice Jordan.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Yep, Bob Hope, I believe he was right. In fact, when he said that, he said it in a conversation in the kitchen, because when we met him, we big dinner for him, that's when he said, there's like 30 of us in the kitchen doing his big dinner for 2,700 people. And he said that, and, you know, it just like, you know, he's right. Because if you watch the TV shows, if you watch Leno, you watch Letterman, you watch all these guys, Johnny Carson, way back, you know, I'm not going to go back too far because you know how old I am. You know, they watch the news, and they'll take a tragedy and turn it into comedy. So I guess Bob Hope was right. Well, in that matter, with me, there's always the chance that somebody's going to have a tragedy, big, small, indifferent, so that we can look at it, apply it to our own lives, and maybe take a little bit of stress out of our lives. So we have people hitting the unemployment ranks today. I mean, they're crazy looking for jobs. They're going out there, they can't find work, they're losing jobs left and right. One guy comes to my mind, and a lot of you know that I really enjoy going to movies. I enjoy celebrities, I enjoy movie stars. Arnold Schwarzenegger is out of a job. Ooh. Well, I read where he wants to go back in the films. Well, what's he going to do? Because we all know him as the Terminator. You know, bang, bang, shoot him up, explosives, jump off the rooftops. Or you might remember him as the twin to Danny DeVito. That is a Hollywood reality, huh? Or maybe Conan the Barbarian. I mean, that's when he was the muscle guy. Couldn't speak English, but he looked good on film. Well, what's he going to do when he comes back to the movies? He can't do the bang, bang, shoot him up anymore. A lot of times we reach that age where we can't do what we did when we were younger. I mean, I'd love to be a diver again. I don't think so. You don't get me on a 6-foot board today. So what's he going to do? He does want to go back into films. Well, I come up with an idea. I thought maybe he can come down in his first scene, land on 2 feet, they grab him, they bury him, wait a couple of sequels, wait for Harrison Ford to come by as Indiana Jones, dig him up, and they both get out and have a Geritol cocktail together and maybe give up the movies. Oh, that's what age does to us. So, you know, to me, when I think about, you know, unemployment, I think about the times when I went through it and what I had to do to humor myself to get through it. And that would be the first scene for Schwarzenegger in my little mind. It's a great scene, him and little Geritol cocktail. But speaking of cocktails, remember the movie Tom Cruise did, Cocktail? Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, really? I don't, because I think I saw the first scene when I had a couple cocktails. So, you know, the ways we entertain ourselves is we do have to look at life, but not take it too serious. What we need to do is look at the positive side of the negativity that we see in a disaster. Now, I'm not talking about real disasters. I'm talking about those that we look at and we've seen it before, the face was different, the name was different, but we'll go through it over again like unemployment. But let's get away from Hollywood for a moment. Okay? Let's talk about the weather people. Weather people, they get paid a lot of money to tell us what the weather's going to be. Are they ever right? I thought that they were right when I was a little boy. I mean, today they have a Doppler, videos, TV cameras. I mean, they've got everything to tell you what the weather is 2,000 miles away. Do I really care what the weather is 2,000 miles away? I want to know what it's like when I walk out my door. So when I was a little boy, I used to watch Don Kent. Don Kent was so cool. oh, my whiteboard's gone. I can't draw the 6 New England states. But he'd go over there with his little marker and he'd draw the 6 New England states. And he would actually show you something, not a green board behind him. He'd show you a chalkboard and a piece of chalk. And he'd be up there at the 6 New England states and he'd dab, 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 dab. It's going to snow today. It's going to snow today. Dab, 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 dab. And that was Duncan. And he was right, I would say, 80% of the time. He was right 100% of the time on snow days, because we didn't have to go to school. So going through this period of life, you have to understand that when something tragically happens in your life, not at the high standard, at the medium standard, we have to look at it and say, I've been there, I've done that, and I can find some humor in it. Why is that so important? Because humor is like a hug. Now, I don't know about you folks, but I need like 5 hugs a day. I'm a hugger. And when I first started dating girls, I would also hug everybody, and they used to get so jealous of it. Why are you hugging her? Well, she's my friend. And that's been going on since I was like 12. I still go through that today because I look at the humor of things, I meet people, and my wife Tessie, most of you have met her, she'll say, well, when I first met her, she finally learned that I'm okay. When I first met her, it was like, why are you looking at girls? I said, I look at people. Well, why do you look at people? Well, because I'm a people person. What's a people person? It's a guy who has nothing else to do with his brain, so he looks at people and gets the humor out of it. So, you know, what I do now is I look at the humor in everything. No matter how bad the situation may be, I have to find that. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up sitting at home, you know, watching commercials, getting a kick out of them, and I'm going to go into this mode where I'm not motivated to do anything. So I need to find the humor. On a serious point, we need to choose our friends correctly. Remember when you're going through life, you can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but don't ever pick your friend's nose.
Thank you. Let's take a minute on the clock to write some love notes for Maurice. What you